But folklore says if you sniff it all night, you're gonna have crazy dreams.
Yo folks, I'm Sean the Modern Yeoman, and I wonder if you know what this plant is. Now most of you probably know that this is a fairly common purple iris, but the surprise thing about this iris is that we didn't expect it. It just showed up randomly on our property this spring. There's been a lot of situations like that. We've got a 10-acre property here, and we'll walk around and we'll find a plant species that we had no idea existed on our homestead until it pops up in the spring. This is one example, this common kind of purple iris. We had no idea we had a whole entire cluster of these irises here till spring when they popped up. Now that we're solidly into spring, one of our favorite things to do is walk around the property and see what kind of surprises are in store among the local flora. Recently, Holly found a very interesting plant that we aren't quite sure what it is, but we're very excited about what it might be. Let's go take a look. What do we got here, Holly?
So I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 98% sure that this is a plant has many names. Sweet sagewort, sweet Annie, sweet wormwood, also known I think as sweet mugwort. Mm-hmm. And it smells so good.
It kind of smells like chamomile, right?
It smells a lot like chamomile, and I initially thought this was chamomile. I found it because there was some over on the other side of the barn, and I stepped on it, and then it smelled so good. It smelled like amazing chamomile, but I looked at it, and the leaves really do not look, I mean, they look similar to chamomile, but they're not chamomile leaves, but it smells...
It has a really...
So good.
It smells like an herbal tea.
Yeah, it smells chamomile. It's got kind of a sweet apple smell.
Yeah, actually, apple smell.
It smells so good. But I had never heard of sweet wormwood mugwort, which I think is what this plant is.
So we're not 100% sure that that's what this is.
I'm about 98% sure, but if anyone can confirm it for us.
Yeah, if anyone out there knows what this
that
stuff
would be
is.
appreciated, because my mind is buzzing with all the things we can do with this, because I'm obsessed with the smell. Like, I just sit out here and huff this plant, basically. Yeah. And it actually has a very rich folklore and tradition behind it, if that is indeed what this is, and people do all sorts of things with it. So I think that's what it is.
One thing we want to make sure is that it's not, we're looking at things that are similar, and one of the things that popped up was hemlock.
Yeah, if this is hemlock, I don't want to be
We don't want to mess with this if it's hemlock.
Making hemlock tincture. Don't have any enemies that I'm trying to kill off at this point.
So Holly, you were so excited about this plant, which we think is a sweet Annie, a sweet mugwort,
a sweet wormwood,
a sweet wormwood,
a mugwort,
a sweet sagewort, a mugwort. You're so excited about the potential of this plant that what did you end up doing?
I transplanted a few into the garden beds, into where I have a couple herbs set up, so we can go take a look at those. But I actually, you know, I put them in here, we'll see how they do, but I actually think they prefer the really dry, not so healthy soil to this very rich compost that we have, but we can take a look.
Yeah, let's take a look. So here they are.
Yes, these are the transplants that I did, and they're doing fine, but everything over there that's in that really dry soil is thriving.
Seems to be doing better.
Not necessarily better. We'll see how these do. Planted them all here in the beds.
Did you just dig deep to make sure you got all their roots?
Yeah, they have a taproot system, and so, I mean, they're very small plants right now, so I just, you know, dug up a clod of dirt and popped it here in the soil. I had no idea when I transplanted these how big they get, but apparently they can get up to 5 feet tall. So I've got them next to here, the dill and the fennel, which also gets really tall. So this will be a tall, fragrant herbs right here.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, these guys survived the frost too, right?
They did. And apparently they're annuals, but they go to seed and they reseed very prolifically. So I'm excited. People make wreaths out of these. People make little.
So this could potentially be a cash crop.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It just all depends on what you do with it, but I want to make wreaths out of these.
Wreaths or little
scented
pillows.
Just wish you could smell this through the camera. Could just sniff it all day.
It would be good, I think, for tea.
Yeah, but it has if this is what we think it has a very strong medicinal properties. They're actually researching it, I think, to treat malaria and other things. So very strong herbal properties. So I don't know if you'd want to be guzzling it all the time.
But the scent is good.
Oh,
it's
good
for
wonderful.
Like a little scented pillow or something
wonderful,
like that.
But folklore says if you sniff it all night, you're going to have crazy dreams.
As Holly mentioned, if you guys have any ideas of what that might be, if it's not sweet Annie or sweet mugwort or sweet sagewort or whatever you call it, if we're wrong and that's something else, please do let us know. But we're pretty sure that's what it is, and we're very excited about the potentials of it. Anyways, I think my dad is up to something over there, so I'm going to go check it out. What you got going on here, Dad?
Well, working on this deck. I can send you some before shots and video.
We'll put those up now because this looks absolutely incredible now. So this is incredible. So this was all power washer that you used to clean
power
this,
washer,
right?
And I may or may not have gotten a little too aggressive with the power washer.
From looking at it, it looks just incredible.
It looks a lot better, but as a lot of viewers would know, you do have to be careful taking a power washer or pressure washer to a deck because of the wood can just, fibers can come up and that kind of thing. So there's this kind of a fine line between getting deep enough to get all the mold and the black and all the junk off and going too deep.
And actually ruining the integrity of the wood.
Right, and there have been some places where I just went a little too deep, so spending some time sanding, getting kind of the wood fibers taken care of.
Well, the job that you did, it's like you have a brand new deck out here.
It looks a ton better.
So all the water bills that you'll be paying from using that power washer, it's the price of a new deck. It's a little bit cheaper than a new deck.
That's true.
Especially with lumber the way it is.
Exactly. What it looks like right now, just kind of the naked wood. We had gone back and forth between whether or not to get like a transparent or semi-transparent stain to put down, but the weaker the stain, the less length of life it has, so you can get all the way up to what they call a solid stain. With all of the wear and tear on this deck, we decided to go with a solid, just to cover up color. Yeah, it's sort of a barnyard or barn door red.
I think it's the same color that the wood on the chicken coop is.
Yeah, very similar. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll keep everyone updated with how this progress goes. I can't wait to see it when you get the stain/paint on it.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks,
Sounds good.
Dad.
You bet.
Also, a lot of folks have been asking me about our sick chicken. Is she better? And the answer is not quite. She's not out of the woods, but she is with the rest of the flock now, and she's eating. She's scratching around, she's pecking, she looks more alert, but she's still obviously not 100%. I think she's gonna get better. I don't know, it's up and down every day. There was a point where I was ready to take her out of her misery. I don't want to be the author of her demise, but if it takes her out of her suffering, I'll do that. For what it's worth, I've decided to let her hold on, and I'm glad I did, because she seemed to have turned a corner, and she's fine being with these other chickens here in the run, and she seems to be doing fairly decently. So I'm going to continue keeping an eye on her and see what happens. That's all we've got from the homestead today, yo folks. So thanks for hanging out with us, and as you begin your week, remember, it's okay if you take things slowly.